Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's look ahead at the next coming raids, numbers 6 through 9. And we're just finishing up the Ifrit/Cactuar raid in Global, so now might be a good time to do that. And then also with the Ifrit Cactuar raid and Rare raid, we've had our first experience with Rare raids in Global. And let me know how you liked that kind of double raid experience, and whether you went mainly for the Ifrit raid or the Cactuar raid or both. I will be upfront about it. I just brought my Lucia into the Golden Cactuars. I just joined other people's raids until I had enough coins to get 2 of the Rainbow Shards, and then I called it a day. But let's look at the next raid coming to Global, and that is for the King Behemoth. And then I'm here on the Game 8 website. You can also look at the Ultima website. I do want to say, though, that these kinds of websites, they are not the word of God. These are just regular players that are being paid to write these articles. And a lot of times it's just a single person writing this article. For like the tier lists and stuff, they'll get their staff together and then try to decide. But yeah, these websites, they are written by human beings that make mistakes or leave stuff out, as we shall see looking ahead here. So don't cling too tightly to the word of these websites. But anyway, King Behemoth, this is the regular raid, weak to Pierce and Light. And then looks like you can steal time on this guy, so yeah. And then we can look at the characters recommended here. Probably top of the heap is going to be Gurasida here. She is a Pierce attacker, and then even though she's off element, she's water element, the boss doesn't have any particular strength against water, so that makes it easier to use her. And then she'll also be one of the best for raids because she has a 3-hit Pierce attack. So yeah, all raids going forward, where the boss is weak to Pierce, Gurasida will be one of the best. And then Victora, also very strong Pierce attacks. She also has a steal time if you wanted to use that. And then Ramza, the way that you would use him is interesting. He would get the advantage for being light element, but the slash attacks would be resisted, as we saw above. But his role will be to build chains, and so he would be a good partner for holy users, actually. Holy, magic doesn't chain anyway, you're just relying on the element chain, so if you can add 3 hits in there with Ramza, that would be pretty useful. And then we have Thancred, he's another light Pierce attacker. And then Ayaka and Kirufe and Irudira, they all have Holy, so you can chain them all together. You can also use like Salia or Yashutada or Mashiri with her Banish or whomever. And then, surprisingly, there's no pickup of Rob. They do mention him in the text here, but they don't give him a picture. But he should be one of the best in here. He has very good critical hit rate. Okay, and then the rare raid is going to be for the Tonberry, weak to slash and ice. So you can use any slash ice attacker, of course. Here we got Laswell, Gilgamesh, and then Agrias, of course, although she won't do as much damage as maybe Laswell or Gilgamesh. And then Gilgamesh is extra good because he has the slash attack resistance break. So that will greater enable slash attacks. We also see Victora down here at the bottom. She is off of the attack type, but just because she does so much damage, and because she's on element, she is worth using in there. And then also because she has her own weapon, the Ice Lance, that greatly increases her elemental attack, so that makes her a better option than most units that don't have a specific weapon. I guess you could use Nasia. She has slash ice attacks, but good luck joining any rooms with her. And then we see Venera and Superstern here. The reason for that is because they have defense piercing, and you want that for this because the Tonberry has pretty high defense. Looks like 40 there, so yeah. If you could use Orudua's Trustmaster, which will give you the defense piercing, that would be helpful in here as well. Alright, and then the item that we can craft here is the Shiden, or Purple Lightning as it is horribly translated in Brave Exvius. Please call it Shiden in War of the Visions, I beg you. But this is a ice element katana. that you can use with Laswell. If you get the plus version, you'll get more slash attack. If you level it up to 50, you'll get more ice attack, so pretty good sword if you want to go for a Laswell. In my global account, I am not going to have any characters good for the rare raid, so I'm probably going to have to go for the regular raid, the King Behemoth, and that's one of the reasons why I've been working on Rob. Okay, next after King Behemoth will be Folgiven. This is the return of the Final Fantasy XIV raid, and there's no rare raid this time. But she's weak to light and dark, and then also slash. So you could use any slash characters that are light and dark. For dark, there's Super Stern, Vineta, regular Stern, Gafgarion, Sasayaki. You could use Shadow Lynx as well. One thing about this boss, however, is that it has very high accuracy, and so evade is not going to work as well in here. And then also you can't use Steal Time against this boss. One thing that did come in handy for this raid was Steal Vision, and then people like Vineta can use that, so that's nice. That can be a way to build up some AP points using some TP skills, especially if you don't have Jiza's bells. Oh, and Jiza, she is a possibility in here. I think she also has the Steal Vision, and then the Snipe Dagger, which is a slash attack. And then actually Sasayaki is one of the best ones for this raid, because she has good defense. Both the boss and the little guys on the outside, they will do a lot of damage. And then with the accuracy so high, like Gafgarion and Stern and Shadow Lynx are going to go down fairly quickly. So if you can have a tank in Sasayaki, raise her hate, or if you can put Vow of Love on somebody, I think that would really help you. But knowing that there's so much damage coming at you, it might be a better idea to use light slash units. Thancred is beefy. You can also use Warrior of Light, or Engelbert, or Ramza again here, like we see. They're all pretty beefy, so that's cool. Thancred, he does have the 2-hit attack, Keen Edge. That will be a good combo attack for this fight. If you do use a tank like Engelbert or Sasayaki or possibly Thancred, you'd want to raise both the slash and the projectile resistance, and then also maybe area of effect resistance. There are strong area of effect attacks here, so kind of want to keep your guys apart from each other as well. But I had fun with this raid. I remember enjoying this one. And then you can make the Beiru Baganetto. This is an armor. And then because this is a limited time raid, just like the Final Fantasy I raid, if you beat level 40 or 79, you'll get a +1 or a +3. That's not as good as the +2 and the +4 that we got for the Final Fantasy I raid. But I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of boosted it up for Global, since Global gets a lot of special treatment anyway. But excellent piece of armor. If you max it, you will get Pierce Resistance, and this will be the first Pierce Resistance armor available in the game, so definitely want to make that if you're interested in resistance builds. Okay. After Final Fantasy XIV will be the Two-Headed Dragon. This is another light boss, but weak to dark and pierce. So, good characters for here will be Kain, of course, and then Stern with the Dragoon subjob. And then Shadow Lynx, she also has the Dragoon subjob, and then Jiza as a Lancer could also work in here. Or you could use off-element units. Again, Gorasuda with a 3-hit attack, she'll be really good. I remember like level 100 raid rooms of the Two-Headed Dragon, they were asking for either Kain or Gorasuda. Victora and then Christmas Mashidi, also good Pierce attackers. Although I do remember that there were some rooms that were going for dark slash characters, the boss does kind of have high slash resistance. But you can, break it with Gilgamesh, or you can just force it. And you could use Super Stern, you could use Vineta, people like that. When I played this, I mostly ignored this because I didn't have either Kain or Gorasuda. But I did have a great character for the rare raid, which was the Princess Pudding. It's a pink flan. But that one was weak to ice and projectile. So Rosa from Final Fantasy IV, she was one of the best in there. She also has like ice breaks, so you can further lower the defense there. But really, any projectile attacker would be good. So Lucia, Luasa, Christmas Mashiri, she has the Hunter subjob. Vineta with the Double Gunner subjob. And then Kuli Wezet, I guess you could use him. But I did see some ice slash teams in there as well. So Laswell, Gilgamesh, and then Agrias again. But yeah, once again, Lucia going to be very good for the high difficulty content. And then for the equipment we can make here, the Soul of Thamasa. This is an accessory. It will give you a bunch of stuff. It has a high magic value, so you could even use it in place of a rod if you wanted to equip some other stuff. Or you could use it in addition to a rod once the stat stacking update comes. I think max it can get 120 magic, which is pretty good. And then if you get like to level 50 and then plus 5 or whatever, you'll get magic resistance and then also magic piercing. So pretty powerful item. If you like magic users or if you want to fight magic users, you definitely want to level this up. Okay, and then just ended in JP was the Siren raid to lightning and projectile, and then strong against slash. And then also, this will be the first boss that has resistance to elemental imperils and slash resistance breaks. So sad Orlando, sad Gilgamesh. But you can use any projectile attackers basically. So we see here the brand new Niveru or Federica. Those are the best two units here. They have both the element and the attack type. But Lucia's good, especially with her 4-hit attack. Again, subjob double gunner on Vineta. Or Shuzelt. He does have a hunter subjob and then the lightning element, so he can do some damage there. Luasa, who is the fire element double gunner. She is kind of the reverse element, so she'll do little damage herself. But just like I said before with Ramza, even if attack-wise you're not doing a lot of damage, you can raise the number of hits in the combo. She has that 4-hit attack just like Lucia. So if you wanted to use her to set up your other characters, like if you're doing solo and you have nobody else, that could be an option. I was also using Rodera, that MR Hunter unit. She was pretty good in there as well. Okay, and then the rare raid was the Gold Cactar again, and then this one was weak to fire and magic. So Rain was great. He has that 3-hit attack, so he's one of the best in there. And then Swimsuit Kiton, another fire magic attacker. And then a bunch of other random magic attackers. And then Yashutura, Adorado. You could use Marguerite, I think her name is, or Miche if you really wanted to go there. But here too, you can use Luasa. Fire element. She's got defense piercing, which this Cactar has a lot of. And I didn't really have any trouble joining high-level rooms with her. Maybe like 80% of the time I was just joining the rare raid rooms. Even if the other 3 characters were all magic users, it wasn't an issue. So yeah, yet another case of Luasa being great. And then the thing that we can craft here is the Elfin Mantle. This is an accessory too. If you get it to the plus form, you will get Pierce Resistance. So that's really cool to be able to put that on anybody. And then there is a dodge type as well. I think you can get up to 14 dodge, but it doesn't have the bonus dodge. So it's not going to be as good as like Ribbon or the Sage's Hat or something. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, but that was a look at upcoming raids. The characters here, it's not really an outline of like who you should pull for. But if you're looking at like the raids and you're seeing like you have nobody ready, but maybe you have somebody that you can use, then it might be a good chance to start leveling that character up. Alright, I think that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching and we'll see you again. Take care.